Welcome back to EMF Protection with Brian. Today we are going to look at cell towers in Kitchener. So from our website, go to Resources, Cell Tower Radiation in Ontario. Scroll down and click on Kitchener. Here you can find a map of the Kitchener cell towers, and we've put around, these are 1 kilometer circles. The big circle is 1 kilometer, the small circle is 500 meters, to show you the ranges that these cell towers blanket in the Kitchener area. And you can see that in many cases, they converge, their signals converge on spots with more than one cell tower contributing. This cluster, you can tell, there's a cluster of cell towers here. So, and if you click through this map, we have some individual circumstances that we have taken a look at. So here is where we parked. Here's a school. Here's a building with cell towers on the roof. And if we take a look at the picture of that, it's 375 meters away. And it's getting a reading of about 3,580 microwatts per meter squared. Just to give you a reference point of what that means, anything over 1,000 microwatts per meter squared is a place that is considered extreme exposure for daytime. For sleep, it's less than 10. So all of these streets around here with housing, where people are sleeping, are in a zone where they are likely miles above the recommended range for sleeping according to the building biology standards, which have been addressing EMFs, including radio frequencies, for 30 years with their customers. And so if we take a look at some of the other pictures here, this is the boardwalk, and there's a cell tower on buildings here, parked here, and I believe that was 300 meters away with microwatts maxing out at 33,000 microwatts. And then you could see the cell towers or the cell antenna equipment from here. Here you could not, due to trees, other buildings in the way at the street level, but the rooftops are certainly seeing them. However, even without being able to see the antennas, we did get a reading, and it was still in the extreme range. And here is the Grand River Hospital. Back in my day, it was the Kitchener-Waterloo Hospital. I had a child delivered there. What a great memory. I was parked in this parking lot between the Sun Life Tower and more skewed towards Sun Life. Couldn't see these towers. They're up on the other side of the roof. I was able to see this small cell equipment up on this building, and there's this big tower here. Note here is a apartment building. I'll show you some pictures of that momentarily. So as we scroll down the page, there's some good information here, and here are some pictures. So this one is that apartment building by the school, and it's showing a maximum of 6,570 microwatts at that parking lot 375 meters away. With this is the school roof right here by the flag. And let's look at this one. Here's one we didn't mention. This is a cell tower. You may recognize this thing. There's Fisher Hallman, and I can't think of the other name of the street. But we've got 500 meters away from this, and that is blanketing. There's a massive subdivisions off to the left here, and so they're getting that radiation. Here's the hospital, this massive tower in front of the hospital, and there's that apartment building. So all of these people are sleeping with the exposure of this cell tower. And what that typically does at night is it will give off radio frequency waves carrying pulsed data on those waves, sending them in all directions. And the pineal gland does not recognize what that is, and certainly doesn't associate it with dark nighttime, and therefore melatonin production can be interrupted, leading to a host of issues. Whether from this or some other source, it's very important to be a productive melatonin farmer in our sleep. That's what cleans up all the free radicals, which are known for creating cancer in our bodies. In addition, these cause scaffolding around our cells, which there's a host of issues. One PhD scientist has discovered that it triggers voltage-gated calcium channels, which sends calcium into the cells in a spastic overloading way. And the scaffolding around the cells stops nutrients from getting in because the cells just think they're under attack, and it stops them from getting rid of waste. The concern is that the long-term exposure to these types of frequencies, which are non-native, we did not evolve in these frequencies, is leading to a poor outcome over time and is cumulative. Just skipping through some more of these pictures. This one I can't expand, but it's a new subdivision with a cell tower there, cell tower there. On the other side of these cell towers right close to them are subdivisions and apartment buildings. And the radiation here is quite high. And lo and behold, a new subdivision with a school and shopping center will be installed. Some more subdivisions were in the Mannheim area here. People are buying their $1 million homes, and 850 meters away, they're getting very high extreme levels that penetrate these roof lines. And that's, that's not too far below that are our beds. And so these high extreme radio frequencies are penetrating. They're getting knocked down a little bit, but the roof doesn't really knock them down at all. The brick takes off some, and of course you still get exposure. And the challenge with that is that this is not linear. So if you can knock it down by half, it doesn't mean that it stops being biologically active on our bodies. We need to bring these down in our exposure levels to under 10 microwatts while sleeping. And homes that aren't even exposed to cell towers don't have that, because what they have is their own cell towers and Bluetooth inside of their own homes that they don't turn off at night, like Wi-Fi routers, cell phones, Bluetooth speakers, printers that are wireless. All of these things contribute to this long-term cumulative exposure. And we can go through this list. Here's the other side of the hospital parking lot with some significant exposures at 350 meters away. These things are angled downwards to capture, the homes and the buildings and the people in their cars. And if we scroll down, some further information here talks about how it points towards the roof lines, and that's the biggest point of penetration. Here, there's this group that does epidemiology studies, and they found that 8 out of 10 studies reported increased prevalence of adverse neurobehavioral symptoms or cancer in populations living at a distance more than 500 meters from base stations, cell tower equipment basically. None of the studies reported exposure above acceptable international guidelines. Those are pie in the sky numbers that allow business to flourish, suggesting that current guidelines may be inadequate in protecting the health of human populations. So it comes down to yourself. Nobody else is going to take these towers down or stop their radio frequencies from entering your home or the gadgets you have in your home. This is where you need to educate yourself, talk to experts like myself, where we can provide you the information you need to understand what these frequencies are doing, whether they're from cell towers or the wires in your home, or magnetic fields coming from equipment in your home, or wiring errors, to see how they're impacting your living space. Once you have that information, you know what we provide you information as to what you can do, and then you at least know and can make a decision based on concerns you may have. Thank you for watching this video.